30 of the 2014 July Painting Challenge. Whew, one more day. So, what are you looking at here? Well, these are mostly done, believe it or not. Skeletons. Yeah. I like this guy. This guy's cool. I actually ended up just doing rust on the instrument. I think I mentioned something about doing like a Warplock bronze on it just because it's a cool piece. But didn't really make sense to me if all the other metal in the army is ancient beyond belief, dug up from ancient what is it, Nehekaran? I don't know, the like Egypt type place. It's kind of where I imagine a lot of these pieces to come from. Like this guy. Like this dude. I think this is him. Yeah, this guy. He's got like this like Egyptian type what do you call this, a pith helmet, I think, on. Kind of interesting. The shield. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I love this rust color. It's like my favorite thing for doing the metals on these. And like I said yesterday, I think it was yesterday, if I was to really like pay attention and do these guys up, probably what could be considered the correct way to do it, instead of just like, you know, one base coat on everything and then washing the whole thing. Again, because there's like 200 of these guys currently in my army, and yeah, so it's like I'm not gonna do that. But if you were to do it properly, like do like a display piece or something with a couple of these dudes on it, like in a graveyard setting or something, I definitely haven't thought about doing that before. But if you did do something like that, the rust would go really well, of course, as like an accent, an actual rust effect to a metal base, like a silver or like metallic gray, and then doing like rust effects on it and doing layers and stuff. But again, the idea is that this, for example, this shield, I feel like even if it was like polished steel, you know, folded metal, like samurai swords and stuff are made out of, and katanas, even if it was like the highest quality, nicest metal, after being buried in the ground for, you know, 1,000 years or more, it probably would look a lot like this. It probably wouldn't have very much bare metal left. My dad collects old, like, classic beater cars. Not he builds like hot rods and stuff out of them, but he uses like these old cars from like the 50s and stuff as parts cars for his projects. And a lot of those cars, they have I think it's called cancer, where the metal hasn't been treated in forever and it's just kind of sat in the dirt and the lawn for decades, so it actually just kind of like the weather gets to it. And a lot of these cars, you could go online and probably look it up, a lot of these cars look a lot like this, where it's just solid, just eaten away rust, the entire car. There's like no, you know, sections left that are colored and, you know, proper shiny metal. So anyway, that's kind of my my explanation for, you know, beyond the fact that I'm just doing this to quickly get them tabletop ready, and be able to stand in ranks. But it's the same thing with the wood too. Like the wood, you know, like this gray green effect would look amazing if you did it properly and you know, put like some different coloration in there and to make it look proper. But again, like when wood gets old and rotten, that's kind of what it looks like. Like this old, like petrified gray, green, rotted wood. So anyway, yeah, like I said, if you were to do these up to a good quality, you probably want to do more layers and do it properly. But I mean, this is a really good representation of what things would look like, I think. So, and I love the red flags. I don't know if you can see that under the wash, but the red, I use like a couple layers of like really deep red. I use Mephiston red and what's the other color? Woo! And then blood red on them. That's it. This stuff. So, yeah, I really want to make the flag stand out just because I think it looks cool. It's like this, you know, muted earth tone type image, and then these bright splashes of red. I have this in the other, amongst the other skeleton ranks as well. And it looks cool. It's like it's almost like Girl in the Red Dress, red lipstick, the whole like Sin City vibe to it, where it's black and white except for splashes of red on the you know, sexy love interest. So yeah, I just think it's a cool effect, and I mean it's vampires, so red is kind of the color of the day, right? And it could be imagined that these strips of cloth were not buried along with the weapons and stuff that they grabbed up. They were, you know, tied to the hafts after being risen from like shreds of victims' clothes and whatever they found, just as a, you know, trophy or whatever. So it looks cool. So yeah, they look pretty good. I love these skeleton models. They're so, for just a rank and file model, they're so detailed and so cool looking. Where is he? This guy with the crazy helmet and the empty. There's a lot of character to him. That's what I love. He's got an empty sheath. He's just wearing an empty sheath. He doesn't have a sword. He's just wearing a sword sheath for, you know, for giggles, I guess. So yeah. And this dude, I gave him like old, rotten hair. Looking pretty good. I love them. They're cool dudes. And they're gonna go well with the other couple of skeletons that I have that are this type. All the other ones, most of them are actually the old skeleton box, which are actually significantly larger than these guys and more statically posed, and they definitely have less decoration and like detail on them. They basically have either the short sword or spear, whatever option you give them, the shield, and that's basically it. They don't really have helmets or anything. These guys are way more characterful. And I think that's why I said at the beginning of the challenge too, when I introduced this box that I was going to be doing, is you know, this stuff, this crap weaponry, crap armor isn't gonna go very far in you know, taking down like the, you know, gleaming knight or anything. But I'll put it to you that this stuff has more character than that, you know, plain sword that the knight is holding. Like this, I mean, look at that. Look at that shield. It's sweet. How is that not awesome? I love it. I can't get enough of it. I love my vampire counts. Coolest army. Hands down, coolest army. Alright, that's enough of me blabbing about these dudes. Like I said, all I gotta do is wash them, or wash them with Agrax to give their actual construction, their skeletons and stuff, the ancient, like old, dusty, dirty bone look, and then base them along with the Vargeist, which are Still waiting for their official completion. Oops, sorry about that. There we go. Roar. Yeah, one more day. I have faith that we'll do it. I have faith that we will make it in time, but it's going to be a photo finish. We'll be working up. I'll be putting the finishing touches literally the moment before I start filming the last video, so yeah, which brings me on to the question, the day 30 question, which is if we had to do it all over again, would I change my oath? Would I add anything to my goals or remove anything from my goals, or would I keep it the same? And I mean, just based off of the fact that I'm making this like the day of, I'll be finishing the project, I'll probably say that I think the project this year was spot on. And to be honest with you, last year, a lot of people are familiar with my project from last year when I first built this army. And if you want to see like what that army is in its entirety, minus these guys, I guess, and the doggies over here, these guys. Ooh, doggies. 10 dogs that I gotta still paint, and then also 60 zombies. So there's actually quite a bit that's not shown in that, but pardon. If you want to watch kind of or see that army in most of its glory, go back to last year's July painting challenge and look at like I think it was the last video I did, the day 31 video for that one. Was kind of like just a general overview of the entire army that I was able to complete, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to match that amount this year, primarily because I really wanted to focus. That's the thing is, I mean, it's taken me like 2 days, right? Like 2 days, and I'll be done with them on the third day to finish these guys. And it's 10 of them. So, I mean, if you do the math, the way that I'm painting these guys, and which is a very similar way to the way that I was painting the zombies, really, I did start from them being in paint thinner, because I bought a lot of these from like the Blue Table Painting web store. Got a great deal on them, but it was just ranks upon ranks of like half painted skeletons and different schemes, and some of them were just caked. It was a mess, and it actually took me months and months to actually get to it. The July painting challenge is what actually convinced me finally to buckle down and just do it. I mean, before that they had been sitting on my porch for in chemicals in a box in the corner of my porch for probably 3 months before then. You know, it was just one of those like I don't even want to think about it type of deals. And last year's July painting challenge kind of inspired me to just do it. And I figured, you know, the support of the community mixed with the added dimension of actually putting this on YouTube and documenting it, it was just inspiring and exciting enough for me to drag myself out of my procrastination. So anyway, that being said, it took me like the first week or so, probably more, just to get them out of the chemical and scrubbed down and washed, and then reassembled and reconstituted back up to, you know, standing on their own. And then after that, it really only took me like 2 or 3 weeks to finish all, like, I don't even know. I think there was about 200 models total. I think there was, yeah, I think there's 100 and, no, that's not right. I think there was like 160 models. There was, I think it's 123 or 122 skeletons, and then there were 39 zombies. Yeah, I think that's correct. So, just the way that I was able to assembly line them and do the base coats like this on them, it only took me a while. I mean, I worked until the wee hours of the morning every night pretty much. It was crazy, but I mean, I was able to do it because of the fact that it was just simple, basically base coats, and I didn't have to apply any sort of skill or shading or, you know, dry brushing or highlighting or anything like that. It was just kind of do base coats, wash them, done, and move on. And this year, the reason why the reason why I knew I wasn't going to be able to do the same thing is because I hadn't painted anything using any sort of technique beyond that, just beyond using base coats, and maybe a layer or two here and there. So I really wanted to try my hand at painting something well, painting something more complicated and more technical. And so I really wanted to focus on these guys. So really, in reality, these three guys took the same amount of time to paint as it took for me to clean, build, and paint up like, I don't know, 100 plus models of this type. Which can be seen, it's kind of a microcosm here, because it took me about 3 weeks, I think. I finished these guys earlier this week, so over 3 weeks to do these guys, and then as soon as that happened, I was able to kick these guys out in a couple of days. So anyway, that's the reason why I knew I was gonna be able to achieve the same volume this year as last year. And that being said, I think it was spot on, my goals, just because I was able to get these guys done, and the way that I base them will be white glue and then snow flocking and then a couple of Highlands brush pieces on there. Again, if you want to see what that looks like before you see the video tomorrow, you can go to my older videos. I also have a couple of battle reports up with the vampires as well that you could probably see the bases in, but it's really easy, so that'll definitely be done by tomorrow, and then the washes shouldn't take very long either. So I totally expect to be completed with this project by tomorrow, which is exciting, because for a day or two I wasn't sure I was going to make it. So yeah, I think my original goals were spot on. I knew I wanted to focus 99% of my effort on Blondie and the gang, and then with the spare time that I had, work on building this box of skeletons that I've literally had since last painting challenge. I think I debuted them in like the last video that I had, so it's still in the box. I did like an unboxing of them, so they finally get to see their day in the sun, which is exciting. Now it's just on to 10 dogs and 60 zombies and then on to the cool stuff like mortis engines and dragons and stuff. Exciting. So yeah, these guys are actually the first cool non-line troop, non-basic troop like these guys that I've actually added to the army that I've painted and built. I do have a unit of Blood Knights, which were done by Jawa Balls, which was awesome. I think I did I supported a Kickstarter for him last year, where he was trying to get his painting video tutorials out, and I supported that, and got the Blood Knights, which are amazing. They're kind of the jewel of my army. And then the heroes, the Vampire Lord, and the Necromancers I have in the army were done by Blue Table Painting. So beyond those guys, the Vargeist are really the only special items in the army. So after the last bit of zombies, it's all going to be candy from there on. I don't think I'll need to add any more troops, so to speak. Maybe down the road I want to try out a zombie spam list, which requires some absurd number, like 400 zombies in the army, and then you basically just load up as many necromancers as you can fit, and then just keep resurrecting them. And apparently that's a fun list to play, so maybe sometime in the future I'll do that, but In the meantime, I definitely have enough. Ooh, this is going on to 20 minutes. So yay, we're back to normal apparently. Yeah, so I don't want to ramble on too much more, but I think my goals were befitting of this month, or this year's painting challenge. I wouldn't add anything to it because, as you see, I'm barely getting it getting it under the time limit as it is, and I wouldn't remove anything because I'm happy that the skeletons were done. If I had removed anything, it would definitely have been them. So the only regret, I guess, of the project that I have is of course the plague bearers, which ended up being a failure. However, to look on the bright side, silver lining, I guess, if I had been successful at them, it would have probably pushed the skeletons out, and I probably wouldn't have finished the skeletons in time. So, it's a toss-up, I guess, but I'm glad the skeletons are done, and we'll do the demons later, offline, I guess. You will see them debut, hopefully, in the next. Well, I say next, but this video will be up before this current month's 40K League campaign for my channel videos go up. So not this month, but the next month's videos should showcase those demons done. Hopefully, I'll get to summon them out with my Eldar. Ooh. Yeah. So I think that's it. All right, day 30. We got 1 day left, and then it's goodbye time, I guess. Sad. It's bittersweet. I don't want to let go.